Overfishing by Josh. Few problems. The habitat destruction. This is the unsustainable fishing can lead towards the ecosystems being destroyed. These destroy the bottom of the oceans, but also coral reefs and normal coral. The bycatch and impacts to threatened species. The unintentionally catched the wrong species, including like turtles, sharks, dolphins, and other mammals. And then blast fishing. This involves like a homemade bomb that's employed in the water, killing what is around it. And then the fisherman collects those fish that rise to the top of the ocean as the catch of the day. The last problem I want to talk about is the bottom trolling. So fishermen troll um, the bottom with a large net behind the boat across the seafloor, scooping fish or other organisms into the path. So this destroys the bottom of the seafloor, but also picks up and collects all the fish that are stuck in the net, including smaller fish that do not need to be picked up and eaten yet until they're fully developed, which some of these fish are not. So I just wanted to elaborate on this. The first picture is basically the before and after of a coral reef. So by 2050, our coral reefs will look like this. And then the same thing goes with the other photo. It did look like that, the coral reef, but then in 2050, our coral reefs will look like that. Solutions. So, solutions to stop overfishing. In 2009, the bill calls for end to destruction fishing subsides has been passed. House Bill 94, Senate 208. Anna Baxter mentioned that a few government officials have created and signed a law that passed about overfishing. Representative Frank Pallone and others have signed this to reduce the overfishing rate and to put laws into what can happen next. The solutions continued. From their result, we have incorporated hook and line fishing. This includes a rod or a pole, and to be able to catch the fish and put them back in the ocean if they are too small. Spearfishing or harpooning, this allows fishermen to catch bigger fish without bycatch, which also helps the ecosystem as well. And then traps and pots, these are traps that float in the water that get fish stuck, and then undersized fish can escape, and the fishermen can put the fish or mammals that they have catched back into the ocean for them to live a longer life. So law-informed solutions. So traceability standards. Fishermen need to track where they catch their fish, but also track where they sold their fish. Declaring marine protected areas, putting areas in restricted area, allowing reproduction and telling people that they're not allowed to fish there for those fish to reproduce and other organisms to live. Overfishing education, government programs have helped other fishermen learn about overfishing and being able to teach these fishermen how to properly fish, where they fish, and inform them with the laws that they are now coming up with. Local impacts is that fish prices will increase in our local grocery stores. This is because the supply falls and the demand increases. Over a third of fish stocks have been fully beyond sustainable limits, meaning that they are completely overfished. When too many fish are taken out of our oceans, this creates an imbalance that destroys the food web and can cause other marine life to die, like turtles, coral reefs, other fish, sharks, whales, and so forth on those. The global impact is that 87% of global fish stocks are overexploited or fully exploited. In European waters, between 40 and 70% of fish stocks is at an unsustainable level. Overfishing is tied to bycatch. This relates to the unwanted sea life that gets captured and released back into our oceans. Bycatch marine life usually dies as soon as it releases back into the oceans. This is a threat to marine life and the environment. So the impact on human wellness is that overfishing can be an impact in our food crisis or a loss of employment. There are roughly 60 million workers in the fishing industry. While global warming is increasing, rising sea temperatures and coral bleaching, this has had an impact on our human consumption, but also a threat to our fish stock. Unsustainable harvesting presents more intermediate threat to our health. So in the chart below, it basically goes by how we were in the 1950s to where we are now with our decreasing, fish and coral stock. In this graph, I just wanted to elaborate, is that the recovering fish stock is in the purple, the depleted is in the green, overexploited is in orange, moderate exploited is in red, and then fully exploited, which is the fish that are gone, is in the blue. So I think that we as a world need to have the recovering lot more than 1% for our oceans to come back to where they used to be. The takeaway messages is that overfishing is a huge issue within our society. By fishing correctly, we can help increase the rate of fish in our oceans so that they can reproduce efficiently. Do your part and stop overfishing. Let's make a change in our world to stop this issue. I provided references on this page as well.